We believe that Mussolini was an effective leader. However, we think that most of his acts resulted in an unpopular vote by the people of Italy. Throughout this video, we will explain the various stages of Mussolini's fascist acts, mindset, and mistakes during the time of his reign as the dictator of Italy. Mussolini grew up outside Florali, Italy, with a socialist father and a Catholic mother. As a child, he was very disobedient and obnoxious, which eventually led to his expulsion from many schools. When he returned to Italy at an older age, he joined the Italian army and eventually reached the rank of corporal. Mussolini planned to make reforms and began with the battle for land, a project to create more land that's suitable for agricultural purposes. With this project, he wanted to improve the living standards of the people and also wanted to impress foreigners with that dynamic change in government. The effect of this project was the draining of the Pontine Marsh. This caused a growth in agriculture. With this positive outcome, more jobs became available and allowed for greater landowners to take over land and sell the crops that were produced. However, this act didn't benefit the South, which was the region that was most in need of this act. The Fascist Party received no benefits from this, and they abandoned the scheme in a matter of a couple of years. Most of Italy's businesses were controlled by the state. Mussolini made people give up their stocks and bonds to the Bank of Italy because he wanted to turn Italy into a self-sufficient autarky and prevent trade with every country except for Germany. He wanted to boost the economy, so he persuaded citizens to give up their gold jewelry to the government officials for steel wristbands in return. He even had women give up their diamond wedding rings. Mussolini called this period Gold for the Fatherland.
We interrupt this program for an important public service announcement. Hey, you.
Me?
Yeah, you. Do you want to help your country?
Golly jeepers, mister, yeah.
Donate all your gold for a steel wristband.
But this is my mama's gold necklace.
You communist scum.
But mister...
Do you want your whole family to be killed?
No.
Good. Here's yet another willing and lovely citizen donating to our glorious cause. This has been approved by Mussolini.
After he started the Fascist Party and assembled his team of black shirts, Mussolini ordered a march through Ravenna, and the group destroyed and burned down the headquarters and homes of every member of both socialist and communist organizations. As a result, the black shirts controlled most of northern Italy by 1922. The fearless dictator then organized a march to Rome, which confused the monarchy King Emmanuel. After receiving an offer from a coalition government, Mussolini tricked the monarchy into surrendering his kingship and then took over and was sworn in as a prime minister of Italy. Eventually, Mussolini declared himself dictator of Italy and wanted to create his own empire, so he invaded Ethiopia with the use of mustard gas. Although it was brutal, he finally had his empire, which was criticized by other European countries.
Even though Mussolini wasn't a fan of Hitler, he constantly had support from Germany throughout Italy's invasions, like in Ethiopia. These reinforcements led to an alliance of the two countries. As a result of the alliance, Mussolini passed the Manifesto of Race in 1938. This stripped all Jews in Italy of their citizenship, removed them from certain jobs, and banned intermarriage, which is marrying within your ethnic group. All of these events were significant in his reign because they acted as the fuel for the turning point into his downfall. Now we go into some of the many mistakes that Mussolini made throughout his reign as dictator. His mind began to wander into different directions when trying to compete for territory against Hitler. Thus, he declared war on France and Britain, hoping to show that he could outsmart Hitler's strategic war plans. During the attack on the British, the Italian army was stalled and was reinforced by German soldiers, an embarrassing time for Mussolini. Hoping for redemption, he attacked Greece a couple months later, and again his army was stalled and defeated. Mussolini, left in defeat and no other options, went to the German dictator for aid. Germany then invaded Yugoslavia and Greece, which meant that Mussolini was safe from a defeat, but yet again embarrassed. After Germany was caught in a war with Russia, Italy was left helpless, and Rome was attacked by Allied forces. The Fascist Party, seeing that Mussolini was useless, turned on him, and convinced the king to take away his constitutional powers. After Mussolini and his wife were caught boarding a plane to Switzerland, they were shot to death in a nearby village in Italy. Then their corpses were hung in a public plaza for people to see and sometimes abuse. As you can see in the pictures, Mussolini's corpse was constantly abused.
So, to conclude, we strongly believe that Mussolini was an effective leader, but in the worst way. He was an evil, selfish dictator whose actions and ignorant decisions led to a weak country and a confused population of angry citizens.